We weren't supposed to get an ultrasound that day, but at my doctor's office, they just happened to have a new portable, fancy ultrasound machine, and they said, oh, we'll use this today. Something wasn't right, I could just feel it. And he was like, well, it looks okay, but do you see this dark black circle? This is his bladder, and this is not normal.
It was scary. I mean, when we first found out about it, we had never heard of LUTO or anything.
The amniotic fluid around a baby is really fetal urine. And so if there is no outlet for this fetal urine, after about 13, 14 weeks, there's no more fluid around that baby. So all the time that the baby is inside the uterus, during lung development, it's breathing that fluid in and out. And that fluid is helping those lungs develop normally.
They came to us looking for a second opinion. They knew kind of what the prognosis was. They knew it was, wasn't looking great.
It was overwhelming, but Annie made it so much easier for me. Every time I would see her or hear her voice, I was like, Annie! Like, I just felt so comfortable with her. She guided our whole journey.
First it started with Fetal Team, then urology, neurology, kidney doctor, nephrology. They all know what's going on with them.
I call it a football team of doctors.
I think one of the unique things about Texas Children's Hospital is the opportunity to have sort of really intense multidisciplinary collaborative care teams. So the sort of unique relationship that we have with maternal fetal medicine service, with the fetal intervention team, access to subspecialists across the breadth of pediatric care.
The most common intervention is something called a shunt. And this is a little plastic tube that is, one end is put into the bladder and the other end is left outside the baby's tummy. And so it's just a drain. It just allows that urine to get out around the baby.
Each one of those surgeries was nerve-wracking, just waiting in the waiting room and praying, and a whole lot of praying through this journey.
After we had the last shunt surgery, we went home, and my maternal fetal medicine doctor at home did all the checkups, and we would go weekly to the doctor and check the amniotic fluid until I had no more fluid, and that's whenever I had to be admitted here. They didn't know if he was going to make it. It was very scary. He had chest tubes and oscillator, ventilator.
In the NICU, he had a stroke. This is my hardest part. They couldn't even find a pulse on him, and they finally got him back up. And
when he was first so ill that we didn't know if he actually would make it.
There were days that I would go visit and they, were so happy and everyone was smiling, and there were days when I would walk in the room and everyone was crying and scared and didn't know, what the next day was going to hold. But they stayed strong in their faith, and they knew that they were going to get through it together, and that was all that they could do.
The Prejeans have had a little bit more challenging course. So he was in the nursery for a long time, required dialysis as a newborn, and spent an awful lot of time in the intensive care unit before he finally got discharged home.
He has overcome a lot of things along the way, a lot of challenges, a lot of roadblocks. Our goal, not just from the team, but with the family and for Eli, is to get him to be big enough that he can actually receive a kidney transplant.
He's doing very well. He's saying mama, dada. He's blowing kisses. He's sitting up unassisted. We still have a long road, but I feel very positive about Eli's journey. It's like watching a miracle every day. Just just thankful for the football team of doctors that we had, because they're like angels on earth. They really are. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without them, Eli wouldn't be here.